Okay, here, Cedric at Bonnell Bicycles. So this is a quick video to show you how to replace a sprocket on the MX bike. So you can use the multi-tool that you receive with your bicycle or another type of Allen keys if you want. You need a chain whip to hold the sprocket. If you don't have this one, we will also show you an alternative method of removing the sprocket without that tool. And of course, you need the sprocket of your choice. So in that case, this is 2080. So let me show you first how you can remove the sprocket without that tool. We want to remove the bolts here. There are six bolts similar to what you find on the rotor side. So we have 6 bolts. If you don't have the chain whip, use your T25, so it's Torx 25. But before you do this one, make sure your system is off, and I recommend to switch off the battery if the battery is turned on. So just switch it off. You don't want to work on this bicycle drivetrain on the power. Take your T25, put it inside here. You hold the crank. So there is Loctite on there. It may be a little bit difficult to open, but it will open one by one. So you do it like this, one by one, 6 pieces. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so all 6 screws are loose. Fine, that's good. So next, removing the chain tensioner. So you can pivot this one forward, lock it in place so everything is loose. Then undo these 2 bolts slightly. So you can use your multi-tool, or you can use your workshop tools as well. So this one falls off. All right. So we need to remove the wheel axle, which is here. And to do so, we need to open the pinch bolt here. There is a pinch bolt. So it's a 4mm Allen key. Open this one like that. Then you use your 6mm Allen key. Untighten the axle. Okay. So then you can pull on the axle and the wheel will come out like that. Okay. Now for those who have a chain whip, if you have the chain whip, you can ignore what happened before and you use the chain whip like this. To untighten your bolt so the sprocket cannot rotate backward. So that's a little bit easier if you have that tool than doing it on the bicycle like I show you. But so you need to remove each screw one by one. If you can use power tools if you want to go faster, but I mean, worst case scenario, you have a multi-tool and you use a multi-tool. I wanted to show you that the multi-tool we provide with the bicycle is fine to use. So the bicycle comes in the production. It comes with a 24 teeth sprocket, and then we have 22, 26, and 28 available. So depending on what you expect, what kind of terrain you're riding, what type of top speed you want, you can change the sprocket accordingly. So it's a bit tedious, but you have to remove all these screws. The last one. Okay. Here you go. So you can just take it off like this. It's very easy. So take your replacements. There is no direction. You can place it like this or like that. It doesn't matter. It's symmetrical. So just put it here. Now, this is an important step. Your screws, you need to apply some Loctite thread locker, medium strength. Don't use high strength. Otherwise, it would be extremely difficult to remove them later on. Use medium strength thread locker. That's important. Just make sure there is a dab of thread locker on each of the screw. To make it easy, you locate one screw, you locate the other one, like that, and then you continue. Like this. Still using the Smarty tool. Show an example. For example, if you have a tool like this, it will make it much faster. So I'm using that for the video purpose, but you can use your multi-tool. So we recommend to tighten this to 6 Newton meter to 7 Newton meter in a cross. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So if we don't have a torque wrench, you need to tighten it by feel, but it's advised to use a torque wrench. So we set it to 7, for example. Here we go, 7 Newton meter. 1. Okay, so it'll be 7 because this one. Okay, we're already at 7. Perfect. So now everything is tight. It's very important to use thread locker because this will really prevent the screws from loosening. Okay, so now you're ready to put back the wheel in the bike. To do so, take your chain, place the chain on the sprocket, and guide the wheel in. Okay, so the axle is in. Next step is to tighten the axle. So we have a torque value here, 10 to 12 Newton meter. So I strongly recommend people that are not so familiar with mechanical stuff to use a torque wrench if they have. If not, you can do it by hand. Don't over tighten it. Tighten this one first. And to secure the axle in position, we have this screw here that's called a pinch bolt. You can see there is a slot. So when this screw tightens, the slot gets a little bit smaller and will pinch onto the axle. So same, there is a torque value of 5 to 6 Newton meter. Tighten this one. This is done. Okay, now we switch to the other side and reconnect the tensioner. So the tensioner, you take it like this. You see there are openings. You just slide them in like this. And you tighten the screws. Same. 7 Newton meter, 8 Newton meter maximum. So don't use a long lever. These are screws that need to be tightened a little bit like that. Okay. Last step is you see the chain is floppy. You need to make sure you push up on the cage, and then the cage, this will automatically disconnect and then put back the tension. You can give the bike the cranks a spin to verify everything works fine. So here we go. This is all right. So the chain length does not need any changes when you swap from, for example, 24 to 26 to 28 or even down to 22. The chain length works for all chain sprocket sizes. So you don't have to do anything here. There is an adjustment the height adjustment. This is recommended to adjust it higher if you use a smaller sprocket, but you can see it's not contacting the sprocket teeth, so it's all set, all good. In case this jockey will contact this sprocket, you can open that screw. This screw here, I can show you quick. Open that screw. And then the height is adjustable. You can adjust the height, but the default position will work for most of the sprockets. See the different positions, different holes, and then different matching holes here. So you can adjust the height to adjust the distance between the jockey wheel and the sprocket teeth. So if we were to touch like this, you see it's touching. That's not good. So you need to set it lower. But by default, the default setting will work for most sprocket sizes. Okay, here we go. Always verify it's working before you put the power on. All right, you set. That was it for the sprocket change.